Hi there again, everybody, and welcome back to Prestige Auctions. I want to do a little bit of a video. It's Sunday morning. It's the day after the auction, so it's the 1st of September today. I just want to have a look at yesterday's auction, do sort of a little bit of an aftermath video, and see what we thought about some of the things, because I thought it was a very, very strange day at Prestige yesterday. Some stuff was making lots of money, some stuff wasn't making enough money, in my opinion. But that's auctions for you. But I found the whole day quite strange. Lots of commission bids left, but lots of people, if they'd been sat in the room, could have made good money from this auction. There was plenty of bargains yesterday. 1,200 and something lots, and some of the stuff just seemed very cheap to me yesterday, but then some seemed too expensive as well. So let's have a quick look at yesterday's auction and see what you thought. And of course, if you've got any opinions on any of this, then please leave a comment and let us know. You might not agree with me. You might just think it was just doing the right kind of money. I'm really just turn that volume down a little bit. I'm really not sure myself. So let's move on to yesterday's auction. Let's have a look at the photos here and see what we can remember, what did what kind of money. And for instance, stuff, where was it? Stuff like the vintage hi-fi and that which we actually did a video on this week, seemed to do okay. That sort of did the money I expected it to do. But where were the bargains? There were plenty of boxed bargains yesterday. Quite a few not solds as well, of which many people pick up straight after the sale. But this one here, these of course always seem to do quite well. But this was a smaller one, and it did £30. I thought this one, I thought that was quite good money for that one. But maybe a little bit too much. I don't know. What is too much in an auction? But then, of course, all the stuff down here, the allergy relief and the toothbrushes, they were cheap. If you was looking for a toothbrush or something like that, there was like £6. Well, what are they in the shops? They've got to be £30, have they? Something like that, brand new in the boxes. So, what else was there? The trays of elephants, somebody took all the trays of elephants together. When you look at these, when you look at them closely, one or two of these bits here, there were some quite nice bits. There was clearly one piece on a tray somewhere that somebody was quite eager to buy. What else we got down here? The snooker cues did fair money, and Shaun the Sheep sold, which is always good. And when we come down here, the boxes of books yesterday, well, weren't they a surprise? Boxes of books yesterday's at Prestige Auction were doing decent money. Now, boxes of books at this auction, I'll be the first to admit, are not always the easiest thing to sell. So they did okay yesterday. There was one or two bits. There must have been one or two bits in there that people quite fancied in terms of buy to sell, I believe. Now, these did quite cheap money. I thought the blow-up neck supports and all the rest of it, like little beds or something, I thought they was quite cheap. Plenty of profit left in those for people. And I think this is the thing, we're getting told day on day on day on the news that, get ready for October, be prepared and all the rest of it, because we're all going to get absolutely destroyed under this new government with the black holes that could be avoided if they just did the simplest things. But it seems that we're going to have to find new ways to try and make more money, and I think that's going to include businesses as well as everybody else as well. So if one of the great ways to actually improve your wealth, if you like, and get around these things, is to start buying and selling. And the auction is no better place, especially Prestige, because of the way we set the auction room up. Look at that box there, box of Monopolies. Now, if you looked in there, you've got Star Wars there, you've got the Fortnite one, and you've got the Sore Losers one. So you've got some of the more popular brands there, some of the more popular names. So this sort of stuff could be bought reasonably cheaply in the auction, and then you can get it onto Facebook Marketplace and all the rest of it, and make money on it. There are ways to make money on Facebook and YouTube. And when we start doing the podcast, which we're hoping to do the first one this week, we're going to be talking about this in length, about how we're going to talk about ways, strategies and things of how to make money buying and selling, especially from the auction room, because auction rooms, by their very nature, sometimes auction rooms can do really well with certain things, and then other times, it's just the place where people want to get rid of stuff. Now, what you do find in auction rooms is a lot of people want to get rid of stuff because they just can't be bothered to sell it. Like when you look at some of the stuff there, like that tray, that there, all them plates and everything, they did 20 odd quid, but there's plates, there's a bit of Wedgwood in there, there's a bit of Elvis stuff in there. That was what Wyatt would call one hell of a dealer's lot. So, you can find ways to make money. The Beswick horse yesterday, that was quite cheap for a dapple grey. And what else was there? As we go down here, we had a lot of owls in the auction, of course. And then when you look down here, of course, I bought these. This is my challenge for the week. So I bought the pheasants and whatever they are, or peacocks, I'm not sure. But because the room didn't think there was worth anything, so I bought both of those for £3 each. I'll keep you updated if I can make a profit on those. So what else did we have that was a bit interesting? I think the most interesting bit for me is coming up, the jewellery. The jewellery was just quite cheap in here this week. It was surprisingly cheap, and again, there was money to be made on it. An Omega watch at £110, some 9-carat gold stuff selling, just under scrap. This here, £3 for a silver top dish. Some stuff just seemed a little bit too cheap. Now, maybe the people that, normally buy this sort of stuff just weren't in, but, and of course, that can happen in auction, but it just seemed a bit cheap for me because we are renowned for doing quite good money on sort of nice pieces of jewellery and that. And it didn't, some bits did, don't get me wrong. Some bits did quite well. The lady's 9-carat gold watch did quite well. And the Omega watch, to be fair, did do quite well because the strap had some issues and all the rest of it. So, it probably sold for around its scrap price. Now, of course, anybody that is new to Prestige and is trying to get involved with the auctions, and do watch these videos because we're going to give you so many tips. We're going to start doing some things on what to do and what not to do in auction rooms, and to try and get bargains. So many people set themselves up to fail really in an auction room, going up against people they don't need to go up against and getting involved in bidding wars that they shouldn't really be getting involved with because all you're doing is costing yourself money. There are lots of tips and tricks that you can learn from these videos that we're going to show you. That was a nice piece yesterday. The Marshall amplifier, that's a nice guitar amp, that one. And it was in pretty good condition as well. These are the sort of things that, even at sort of 30 and 40 quid, you can take away and still at least double your money. Now, I think years ago, doubling your money and making money was just a little bit harder than it is today. You've got so many outlets these days, such as eBay, Vinted, and Facebook Marketplace, Gumtree, and many others. There's lots of options for you to be able to buy stuff to sell it. So why wouldn't you? The box room yesterday, it was a bit hit and miss, as it always is. But there was plenty of stuff in there, plenty of stuff to buy and make money on. Big boxes of DVDs. These did quite fair money as well yesterday. We get these in every week from one of the clearance companies. And this is all soft toys. And these were doing okay. They was doing sort of £6-7 quid a bag, something like that yesterday. Now, you break that down, you've only got to sell one at £7 quid on eBay. You've got your money back. And then before you know it, you're into profit. Now, I've got to admit, I was online trying to get Oasis tickets for my sons yesterday. So when Lisa came on and did the tool room, I don't really know what anything made. I didn't see it. So I can't really comment on the tool room. So we're going to come out of there and head to the front table. Now, where was that trailer? I thought that was cheap yesterday. Even I had to go up bidding on that because I thought, do you know what? I think there's profit in this. And there it was. There was the trailer, a nice alley trailer with raised sides. I think that on Facebook Marketplace is 120. It was in the auction. I think it made about 42 quid yesterday. So there was profit to be made in that one as well. So, these are the things that you should be looking at. And now this one yesterday, the PlayStation 1 games that we got in, I seem to remember there was about £130, something like that. So, they did fair money, but still profit left in that box as well, if you can be bothered to sell them individually. Now, the front table was a bit strange yesterday. I thought the Fender guitar was cheap. What else did we have? Some of this stuff, some of this old tin plate O gauge stuff, that did some money because it's worth some money. That sort of stuff can do quite well. When it came to, if you look at the condition of it all, look, the condition of it all was really quite good. So when you come here onto the die-cast stuff, that was doing okay as well, as it always does. And this one here, a little bit of controversy in the room because somebody had their hand up that I didn't see. Of course, we never, ever want to do that. We never, ever want to miss anybody's bids. So I do apologise to that person, but we do have a hammer-down policy as well. These boxes as well, sort of £5 and £6, lots of profit to be made in those ones. So once again, I'll tell you what though, I thought this was cheap when we get to it. This one here, the old phonograph, I thought that was cheap. £85 I think it was. That is an easy double up. I think an easy double up of your money if you was the person lucky enough to buy that one. There's profit in that one. It all looks like it's all there. Whether it works is another thing. So that's one of the issues, one of the problems, or the risks, should I say, that you take when you're buying from auction. Now, when we came onto the white goods and things, white goods did okay yesterday. But again, if you can buy a nice fridge freezer like that Montpellier there, which was in pretty good condition. In fact, most of the white goods are in good condition yesterday. If you're paying 40 quid for that, you're saving yourself pounds and pounds from what you're going to pay for that brand new, or even second hand. I would say that would be 120 in a second hand shop. So you need to, if you do know anybody that's looking for white goods, that's setting up house or anything like that, then the auction is the place to be. These were cheap. The pine bookcases, £6 each, I believe. £6, 6, 12, 18 pound for all three. Somebody's going to take those away and make some real money on them. So as we head down, some of the more modern stuff did okay like this. They were sort of 20 quids and stuff like that. So, but again, still reasonably cheap. Now, there was a cheap one. That bookcase there at £3. £3 for a bookcase like that. It's just a bit crazy, really. You could use it as shelving units for your garage, even at that sort of money. When you come down here, Hoovers did okay yesterday. Hoovers seem to have had a real upturn. We used to get lots of Hoovers and they never used to make much. The bed did quite good money, but it was a good quality pine bed, that one, with a good mattress as well. And when we come down further, that did okay as well. That was a nice mid-century puffy, but look at the condition. That is why it did good money. Condition is everything. Some people that sell in auction sometimes, not all the time, are a little bit disappointed with how stuff does. But when you point out, the condition to them, then that's why things can struggle, because people buy with their eyes, and if something doesn't look right, they're not going to pay as much money for it, especially if they've got work to do on it as well. That becomes a real problem. As we come down here further, there was another puffy there that did okay, and then I think there was a sewing box coming up. Where was it? The sewing box there, that did okay. I think I've just missed one of the highlights. Where was it? There. It must be coming up somewhere around here. There it is. Of course, there it was. I spoke about this in great length yesterday when I did it. In the week I did a YouTube video on this. This 1950s tin plate pedal car. This is in really good condition. We decided not to clean it. Now, under that muck on the top there, I rubbed that and the paint was perfect underneath. It did 190 quid, which, I think it's about its money. But where else are you going to find one? They're just so good. And it's that sort of condition, £190 plus commission, you haven't paid too much. It's still a very, very nice thing. When we come down here, let's have a look what else there was. There's a few people after the clock. The Baby Sham mirror as well did a few quid. But, people have got so many man caves and things these days that they're always on the lookout for that sort of thing. Mobility scooters I thought were quite cheap yesterday, all told, and the keyboards, they didn't do much money. One of them didn't sell at all. And then as we come down here towards the end of the auction, stuff like that, that old sewing box at £3, anyone can make money on that, selling that, surely. £3, bargain. This is why, if you're a dealer, a side hustler, or a reseller, if you're sat in the auction room, that's when you're going to pick up these bargains. It's all right sitting at home and doing commission bids. That's great. We love that. But you're not going to get the bargains. They did about 40 quid, the Sonic speakers, but there's still profit left in that for somebody. And when you come down here, the leather suite, of course, you know, this was a shame. I think had that not been there, that patch, that would have done £200-300 easily. As it goes, I think it made £10 or £5 just because of the damage. Once again, condition is everything. The G Plan Astral, oh, hang on, where's that gone? I wonder why that content's not available just now. Anyway, that G Plan Astral coffee table there, I think that did £110-115. They are sought after, and that was even with a crack in it down there. So I think those sort of things are still finding the money in the marketplace with the dealers and things. And as you came up towards the end of the auction, you know, there was the table and chairs, the wheelback chairs, and that did a few bob. But overall, I think, you know, the auction was a very strange one yesterday, with some bargains, some things that were quite expensive, but you know what, overall it was a good auction. Now what I can tell you is this next week's auction is absolutely fantastic. We've got such good quality in the auction this week that we're really looking forward to getting the bays empty. The auction's already here pretty much. We have still got clearances to do, and the privates have got to come in. We've got a load of silver and gold jewellery in next week's auction. We've got loads of really nice pottery. We've got some fantastic quality furniture, including some air coal and some oriental pieces as well. We've got some Royal Crown Derby in there, and it's going to be a great week. But anyway, we will leave you to ponder this video, see what you think about this new concept. We're thinking of doing an auction aftermath video on a Sunday to talk about some of the highlights and lowlights, and if you want to leave a comment, we will do our best to come back to you. Thanks ever so much for watching, everybody. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We'll keep you up to date with everything, and we'll catch you at the next video.